ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. As you can see, Deportes Nation live at night is what we're calling it. You know, Norma, I think I'm going to leave it on this photo because I'm not going to get any better looking tonight. That is a great picture of Ms. Norma and then Uncle Alex there beside her. And we're excited to be on the air. I'm excited to be anywhere at this hour, Norma. They rolled me out of bed and here I am. They said, hey, make something happen. So how about we give them a formal welcome? I like that, but how about they see us for real and live? Wow, there we are, Norma and Alex. First of all, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us. Welcome into Deportes Nation live at night. Norma, how are you?
I'm doing good. Trying to keep my eyes open. How about yourself, Alex?
Norma, I think I'm already dreaming at this point. Uncle Alex goes to... Now I understand why older people would always be up in the mornings, you know? It's like, what else do they have to do but to sleep, I imagine?
Yeah.
Are we actually live anywhere, Norma? Can you confirm that, or am I dreaming it?
No, we're live.
I still have no idea how this works.
I know for sure on Facebook, Alex. We are live.
Well, I see us live on Twitter. So now we've got to share this apparently to see if anyone actually watches. I cannot see it, Norma. It's just, I'm shocked.
Are you going to share it on your Facebook page?
I guess, if I can figure out how to do it. That's one of my many problems, Norma. Oh, now I see her. Now I see myself. Allow myself to see myself. Yeah, I look better in that other picture. Let's just go back to that other picture. Please. Please help me out.
That was a good picture of you. Yeah, that was a good picture of you.
The one in the last 10 years, Norma. So
whoever did that photo did a lot of photoshopping on that.
You know how people do their well, I don't online date. My wife really is opposed to that these days. But you look at a picture of someone and go, man, that is an attractive person, and then reality hits.
Yeah.
Here we go, Uncle Alex. That's the way it goes. All right, so you're telling me now, I go to my page. I'm going to do this right this time, Norma.
Okay.
As you're talking me through it. Again, riveting show at this point in time. I see how I'm live. I'm going to go there. Look at me, Norma. I have no idea what I'm doing. All right, I just shared it. Let's see what happens, Norma.
Okay.
I guess yep. We're there.
Yep, I see that you shared it.
Okay, so there I am.
Yeah.
That's the most success I've had so quickly in one evening. So I'm quite excited about that. Let's see, Norma, if anybody's watching us here. Oh, a couple of people are watching. So thank you, guys. We haven't even done anything yet. I'm very excited. Norma, how was your day going, Norma? Middle of the week? What is this, Wednesday?
It's Wednesday. We're halfway there, but yeah. Well, even with all this COVID stuff, it seems like every day's kind of running into each other. But yeah, I guess it's hump day, right? Midweek.
Yeah, I don't like that hump thing, weekend? But yeah, times have changed, Norma. Things are done online. People work different hours. We're on what? At almost 11 o'clock at night. So we're catching, I guess, those people that don't have to get up tomorrow. But I don't know if a lot of people really still commute and get in their cars at 6 o'clock in the morning and go to work in the traditional sense. Do you? I mean, a lot of offices are still shut down.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have kind of transitioned to the work at home. I mean, a lot of this stuff can be done online. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see those that maybe have worked at the office for years, and then now because of COVID, if their position, their job has changed to now maybe permanently be at home. So that would be interesting if what the majority of that is.
I think with technology now, we can do a lot of this, Norma. You know, the Zoom meetings and the this and the that. It's less expensive than going. Well, you take me to taquerias, but you know, which by the way, I love the taquerias you take me to. But you know, no more 4 hour and 5 martini lunches, Norma.
Yeah. Nope. Yep. You mean the 2 hour lunches, 3 hour lunches you used to have?
No, 3 hour lunches and 5 martini lunches.
Got it.
That's the life right there, Norma. And on the company money. That's even better right there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the way to do business. I'm not sure what we sold or bought, but we enjoyed it. Whatever happened at that moment. Well, today, Norma, Again, we're going live on several platforms. The only thing I have to check, excuse me, I can't even speak, is the YouTube. I think we're on the YouTube as well. And if we can confirm that, Mr. Producer's working very hard, then we can hopefully move on and get on with the show. I think it looks like, it looks like we're on live, Norma.
Okay.
So,
good.
I mean, that's as excited as I get. Let me look. Oh, there you go. I can even hear myself listening to myself. So, very excited about that. Thank you all for joining us. We really do appreciate it. We're trying to make this a nightly occurrence. Norma, our ratings are dropping apparently, so we can't get the right time. I still can't figure out, Norma. And I've got notes today. I've come prepared for once.
Well, you know what, Alex? I haven't shared it on my platform yet.
Well, basically, that's what we need. Norma's posse. You refuse to share. You're embarrassed now of this, and you don't want to share it.
No, I just hadn't done it yet. Hold on, let me share it.
Well, Norma,
let me share it.
your public is waiting.
They're waiting. They're on standby right now, I'm sure.
They're doing something, Norma, and it isn't watching this show. We got a lot to talk about too, Norma.
Do we?
Yeah, well, I think we do. Riveting, Norma. You're sharing while I'm not talking. So at this rate, with this rate, we're never ever going to get ratings. But Deportes Nation, let me use this thing again. This is really cool, Norma. Let's look at this again. That's the way we should do the entire show. Or at least my half. You look great, but with me, we'll just take that picture of myself, looking at myself. That's pretty good. I like that.
Okay, I just shared it.
Oh, so suddenly the ratings are going to explode.
The ratings are about to increase.
Something's about to increase,
Get ready.
Norma. And it's
So get ready.
It's maybe my temperature's about to go up. I don't know. How are you feeling, Norma? Mentally, physically, emotionally, you're doing good?
Good. I'm doing good. Like we said, it's midweek and just another day, just taking it how it is. How about yourself, Alex?
I'm preparing. I call this Father's Day week because Father's Day is coming up, right? So I'm taking the whole week.
So you get the whole week?
I think that's fair.
Oh, okay.
Don't you? I should be celebrated a lot. So I just take this whole week for being a father.
Does your wife think that's fair? Does she get a week?
Which one of them?
Out of your 10 wives.
The majority of my wives think it's okay. The majority of my wives think it's okay.
Honestly, I've never heard of. I've heard like your birthday week, but I've never heard like Father's Day making it a Father's Day week.
Yeah, why not, Norma?
Take the whole
week. It's a new thing. Maybe I'll start it. But I'm excited about Father's Day, Norma. I'm excited about any day where I get stuff, and usually I don't get a lot of stuff, so I give myself stuff. I give myself presents.
What did you get? What did you ask your family for this year?
Oh, I don't know. They can give me whatever, but if they don't give me what I want, I'll still get it for myself. Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm sure they'll get you something nice.
A little too selfish I am sometimes. Yeah. Norma, we wanted to start with something. What's the first thing you do in the morning when you wake up, Norma?
Open up my eyes.
Okay, great. Let's work through this. I'm trying to get you to go somewhere. You open up your eyes. Most of us, especially at my age, I go to the restroom right away, Norma. There's no doubt about that. So we take care of the needs that have to happen.
Okay.
And then I go to the kitchen where I normally have what, Norma? A drink. No, what normally...
I was going to say a shot of something. That's usually what you have.
A shot of adrenaline just to keep me going, Norma. No. We have breakfast, right?
Okay, yeah.
Right. Norma's going, where am I going with this? What does he set me up for? Norma, did you hear about the change to Aunt Jemima products?
Yes, I heard that this morning.
The parent company of the manufacturers of Aunt Jemima products, as you can see on your screen, have finally made the decision to move away from that brand. As you can see, I don't think it's controversial to say, look, we're recognizing that this has been a brand and a name associated with a dark past. I'll use that, and I don't mean that in pun intended, with racism, with slavery, and good that at the corporate level these kind of things are happening. The products are still great. I love pancakes. I always have. Maybe I eat too many of them. But what is your take, Norma? Is it time to start reevaluating a lot of the things we do? And this is going to lead, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, to sports. We have a lot of names of teams, Norma, mascots, that have for many years been, by many people, considered either racist or in some way demeaning toward a race or a culture or a people. Look at the name of the Cleveland Indians, the Atlanta Braves. Those are names. The Washington Redskins. Is it time, Norma, to reevaluate all of that? Is it fair game? Is all this awareness that we're going through now, and we've been going through this for many, many years. It's not just now. Is it time, Norma, to say, look, we have to be more aware, more sensitive, if that's the right word, and make some changes when it comes to these things? What is acceptable when it comes, in this case, to changing labels, brands of our past?
Right. No, I mean, maybe it is time to evaluate it. And just that picture you had, I didn't know they had pancakes in a cup.
Yes. Do you want to see it again?
Guys, it kind of made me hungry there, Alex.
Am I going to get sued by somebody?
That kind of threw me off. I was looking at the pancakes. So pancakes in a cup?
Apparently, Norma.
Really?
Oh, I guess so. I like the grits, Maybe. Norma. I love grits.
Oh yeah. But anyway, Alex, going back to what you asked, I think it's a time to evaluate it and look at what It goes back to marketing. Goes back to what's out there and basically see. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted here, Alex. But seeing what's out there. And
Norma, if you have other things to do, it's okay. I know it's the Norma Morales show, but if you want to take a break, we'll wait for you. It's okay.
I just need to tell my producer on my end that I've got to get a sign because I've got a line of fans waiting for me, and they don't understand that when I go live that things have to hold for a while till I get off.
Well, certain things, Norma, you can't wait for. So if you got to take a little break to the powder room, you go ahead and take care of that, Norma. We'll hold down the fort.
What are your thoughts, Alex, in regards to it?
About going to the restroom or about the change?
No, about the change.
Look, I think, Norma, if you start evaluating, one of the things that the current wave, because this, as you know, historically, the fight against injustice, the fight against slavery, the fight against racism has been ongoing for I think as long as there's been man. There's always been a people that have been put down, and that's a shame. But my point is it's always good to think and reevaluate and not just assume. But how far do you push it? I mean, look at Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus is known for having discovered the New World. I understand how the view is that colonizers that came to the Americas oppressed the Native Americans throughout the continent. There's a history of that. There's a history of the word genocide. I use that word when it came to American Indians. It is part of our history. And the history is written, by the way, by the winners to hopefully minimize the impact potentially of what certain cultures and people have done. But it's who we are. It's the good, the bad in this case, that's all thrown together. I think it's good to study it, to think about it. Does it continue to be offensive because we don't hurt anymore? So we need to change it? That, I think, is the debate. And how far do we push it? Do we change the name of a city like Columbus, Ohio, because it's related to, in some way, to Christopher Columbus? How far do you take it, Norma? That's right. My question.
Yeah. I don't know, Alex. I mean, I think they'll have to reevaluate. Even like I had seen on what in the news, like with crowns. You have the crowns where it says the color.
Wait, hold on. Crayons?
Crowns.
Crowns?
Crayons.
The things you paint with. Okay, I understand now. Okay.
Are you making fun of me?
No, I didn't know what you were talking about.
Crayons.
Okay. Crayola. Well, that's a brand, but okay.
Right. But I wish I had a crown with me to show you. But basically, it has would have it in English and then in Spanish.
Okay.
So like black, of course, is
Oh, I see what you mean.
right. I wish I had one and I don't. But
Well,
anyways,
that's the
that
color.
was
The color black in Spanish, of course, is yes, is the N word in some ways. Yes.
right, right, exactly. So that was a debate in regards to, do they change the name? Do they take that off the actual crayon? So, I mean, again, it goes back to everything. Does that mean everything gets reevaluated? Every single little thing, and they evaluate it just to see, if it needs to be changed.
Norm, I think it's a seesaw. It's a balance. It's a wave. We need to be aware of these things. I think awareness is important. I think sensitivity is important, but also not to the point, Norma. And you and I are involved in youth sports. I still believe that life is competitive. Life is not pretty at times, and you have to be prepared. I guess, and maybe this is a wrong analogy. It's like awarding everyone a trophy, even though you didn't win. There are winners and there are losers in life. I know that may seem harsh to some people, and at times there have been people and governments that win, have control, and impose their will and their rules and their way of thinking over others. We've seen that over and over again in the history of man. And yes, hopefully the truths that we have in our lives of freedom, transparency, of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness like we have in this country win out. And these are the moments when we reevaluate these things. But I just think it's interesting, and relative to sports, we were talking about the Aunt Jemima label being changed. Uncle Ben's Rice apparently is doing the same. And I get it, I understand it. But can we also maybe have some fun? And I don't mean this is a fun subject, but can we at some point, Norma, not be so offended by everything? And then what kind of conversations do we have? Do we greet people these days? When I grew up in Mexico, we didn't just give handshakes, we gave hugs and kisses. Is that now somewhat, to some people, harassment? How far do we take this? I think, ladies and gentlemen, from my perspective at least, the answer is a balance, right, Norma?
Yeah, it's a balance, Alex. I mean, everyone takes things differently, of course. And like what you said, in tradition, you give people hugs and you may give them a kiss on the cheek as maybe a hello or a goodbye. And some people may not be into that. People want their 6 feet, whatever, and don't want to be touched. And
well, hold on, Norma. So here's a scenario for you, okay? You and me and this third person, a man, and I'll name him soon, are at the disco. I love to go to the discos on Friday night, okay? So Norma's at the bar at the disco, just minding her own business. Uncle Alex walks up and wants to give you a hug and a kiss because I remember you from a few years ago. That's called harassment. But if this other gentleman named Brad Pitt comes up to you and gives you a hug and a kiss, you're flattered by it. It's also all in the eye of the beholder, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, if it's Brad Pitt, I mean, come on.
But if it's Uncle Alex, you're calling 911.
Right. I'm like, ugh, I would be doing this. But
yes, you would. And calling security.
And calling security.
Well, look, I'm not faking. Go ahead.
I'm only kidding, Alex, with you on that.
Whatever, Norma. But I would take Brad Pitt's hug as well, too. Don't get me wrong. And look, I'm not trying to make light of sexual harassment in any way because it's a real thing and it exists.
Yeah.
So I'm not making light of it. But at times, there can be those moments when we're human. There's moments when we're attracted to someone, and I'm not gonna say it's okay, but it certainly makes it a little bit easier if it's someone that maybe isn't an Alex Parra looking kind of fella. Can I use the word fella?
Fella, yeah, you can.
I guess I just did. So Norma, thank you, those of you joining us. I see another Norma that's watching us or listening today. Norma SM, we'll call her that.
Yeah.
That's a very
Hey,
long
Norma.
name. Hi, Norma.
Hope she's well.
She says she's doing. I can see this finally, Norma. I don't know how I figured this out, but I'm very excited about this. Thank you for joining us. And if you guys have any questions or comments, please chime in. Norma, I'm going to show you some video now, and I want you to kind of go with me on this one. Are you ready?
Okay.
This is our first topic of the day. So this man you see on your screen right now, his name is Memo Treviño. He's participating on behalf of the Houston Dynamo in something called the EMLS 2020 Championship. It's called the EMLS Cup. And again, it's esports, it's playing gaming. Again, I'm trying to learn this. FIFA, EA Sports FIFA, and it's a big deal, Norma. These athletes, and that's the word I'm using here. They are followed around. You're going to see in this video, Norma. They compete. They've got the greatest setup. I need that gaming chair right there, Norma.
Yeah.
And they literally compete, representing teams in the MLS against each other, playing FIFA soccer. There's fans. I mean, Norma, there are fans that come out and watch and participate. You know, it's great marketing and all that. But I don't want to say it's amazing to me, but this is where the future is. Yesterday we were talking, Norma, about the concept of where does sports go from here? And I think it's really exciting in many ways that there's a brand new, and for me, I say brand new, it's probably been around for many, many years, another way of competing without ever being in the same stadium together. There's also, Norma, and I'm going to roll another video I have here, of something similar, which is called, and you'll see it on your screens, it's called NBA 2K League. It's an entire league where people, and you can see on your screen, gamers, play virtual basketball. And this is not only a pastime, it's a profession. There's money being made. There's advertisers that are participating. Leagues are also participating in this. Is this the future of sports, Norma, as we know it? I think in every sport literally could have their own gaming. Is this where we're going? And think of the next generation. Forget Uncle Alex and his peeps. Half of us aren't even alive anymore, Norma. But is this the way where things are going? I genuinely believe, Norma, that that's where we're at. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this right here is very different. I mean, the thing is, you know, I get upset with my son when he's playing a lot of that gaming.
Right.
And now that I see this, I'm like, man, I need to have him on the gaming more often. Maybe he can make mama some money.
Yeah, well, you know, there's a lot of jokes there, but I'm just going to hold my tongue for once. Mama needs a little cash.
Mama needs some cash. But no, I mean, seriously, I mean, with this gaming, you know, you've got Fortnite, you've got FIFA, you've got, I just bought another game for my son. I don't know if I can't even recall what it is. He's been wanting it, but they're always playing it. And he even makes comments like they have,
leagues,
like leagues, tournaments, you know, where they could make money. If you are top whatever, you make money. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you know, whatever. But now, I mean, I guess this is proof that, hey, you can make money. And I think maybe if people can't all come in under one roof or at a stadium or anywhere to see sports, this may be the way that they're going to go with. It's just I wonder, is this going to be part of the Olympics now?
Norma, I think it's opened up. Look, my understanding is there are professional esports leagues. There is big money behind them. There are stadiums, arenas that have been built in order to have people, again, show up live and watch other people playing a video game on a screen. But it is skill. It does take ability. It's not just randomly getting there. So there is practice. I believe, Norma, if I'm not wrong, and I'll research the details of this, there are some colleges and universities that have esports teams versus your traditional athletics. There are, I guess, student gamers, if you can call them that, and they actually have scholarships and facilitate to the qualified and better players their admission into university. The world has changed. I think it's here. It's not maybe. The question is, how far does it go? And will this now take over traditional sports as we know them? The other part, and you know what's coming up, Norma, is artificial intelligence, AI. Will we will our gaming and our experience be easier when we put on the big lenses, sit in our chairs at home, and we can be transported to any match anywhere? That's where it's at. Some young person should be taking notes right now because I just came up with a great idea. I could go watch Premier League soccer, like, by the way, which started today after a 100-day delay, live, and I never have to leave the comfort of my bunker. Isn't that great?
Yeah. That is great. I mean, and going back to what you said about university and colleges, Alex, recently I've been having some not want to say recently, but before COVID, we've been having some visits at universities for my daughter. And
I thought it meant for you. It was time for you to go back and finish.
I do need to go back and well, I've already finished. Maybe add on to my list, but
Oh.
hey,
You want another degree, Norma? Dr. Norma?
I need another degree before. Yeah, I think I do. But no, they had actually classes and like clubs of gaming.
Sure.
And of course, my son was with me, and his eyes just lit up like, wow. So that they're actually including that in curriculums at university and colleges. So that's interesting.
It's a thing, Norma. It's here.
Yeah.
It's with us, and as shocking as it may be, it's a way of life. And ladies and gentlemen, if you have children that maybe sit on the electronics, as we call them in my house, way too long, it could be a pathway to riches. Mama needs some money apparently, so get your son to play some more, Norma, please.
I wonder if they will do kind of like what you said, the lenses or whatever, maybe like a e-vacation. You know what I mean? So instead of me like flying somewhere, like I don't want to fly, maybe it'll kind of.
This is how I transport myself to another dimension, Norma. Oh, I'm so relaxed now. Oh yeah. This is my virtual reality right here.
Is that your virtual? Yeah.
That's it. That's as good as I get. That's my. But Norma, I think the future would be something like this, where sound and feeling and everything, and it's where the world is going. And you know what?
Yeah.
I think it has its pros and it has its cons. But what do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Would you, sports related, give up an opportunity to go live to a stadium to virtually be there? You could literally pick out any stadium, and you would have your maybe 50-yard seat, midfield seat to these stadiums, and be there and experience it and feel it. I think it's going to happen, Norma. It's just a matter of time. So thank you guys, all of you that have been listening in. And Norma, what I wanted to do today, and again, in the spirit of sports, is you and I talked a little bit about, before the show, some of our favorite sports-related movies, right? So I'm going to be a gentleman and let Norma give us her top 5 sports-related movies. And again, the category is just simple. Top sports movies. We can explain them. We didn't get into many details about whether it's a documentary, whether it's fiction, the era. And Norma and I haven't compared notes yet. So Mr. Producer's going to roll it. Mr. Producer's rolled it. We just said, hey, send us a list. Mr. Producer has the list. And Norma, here we go. So here are Norma's top 10 lists. Sorry, top 5 lists. Norma, I'll let you take it away. Explain it.
Okay, I'm just waiting for it to come up.
Oh, I think it's there.
Yeah,
okay.
There it goes. Okay, so my number 1 actually movie I like is Greater. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, Alex.
I have not. I'm lesser, apparently.
A great movie. It's based on a true story about a young man, actually, who had in his heart to be a football player.
Right.
And he was so into University of Arkansas, and he wanted to be a Razorback. He wanted to play, and
I'm sorry about that.
I don't want to actually say the whole story.
Don't give it away, Norma. No spoilers.
I don't want to give it away. I just say just watch that movie. Make sure you have some tissue beside you. It is a sad movie, but it's a great, great movie.
So that's your number 1. Number 2, Norma, is this a documentary?
Yeah, Ronnie Coleman. He is a professional bodybuilder, Alex. He is the best, I should say, bodybuilder of all times. This documentary shows his life on how he got started, and then how he is now. And how he is now, I mean, it's sad because he's been going through a lot, but it just goes through his struggles and how he got where he was and where he is now. So it's a great motivational, of course, documentary. So that's a must-see.
Number 3, Norma, on your list?
Of course, Rocky.
Yeah, and you don't mean Rocky and Bullwinkle, the flying squirrel, right?
No, and they have like different Rockies. but the original's the best. I mean, you have to love Rocky. And 1976, wow, that's.
I was 37 in my second marriage at the time. So I remember that year well. I had to pay a lot of money, Norma. I had to pay a lot of money.
Yes, and number 4, The Blind Side, is another great football movie, Alex, for 2009. That's with Sandra Bullock. You haven't seen it, so I know it's an older movie, of course. I think, and also Rudy. That one's a great motivational movie. Another football movie. I guess it's either football, boxing, bodybuilding, but those are all great movies. And if you haven't seen them, please watch. I would, if you got the time. Oh, these are great movies.
They are great, Norma. And now what's interesting, and I'm about to reveal mine, meaning my top 5 list, not reveal anything else. I know it's late, but we still can't do things like that. So you know what's interesting, Norma, and you haven't seen mine. I'm just now seeing yours. But let's go ahead, Mr. Producer, and kind of roll mine. And what's interesting here, Norma, is we're really not too far off. I'm going to approach mine a little differently. And also, it shows that I'm not in the 21st century. I'm still back in the old days. I'm gonna go for number 5, Slapshot, 1977. Paul Newman in this movie, Norma. It's about a Bush League or not NHL hockey playing movie. It talks about in many ways, the violence of the sport, but the fun of it, the environment around the sport of hockey, the Hansen triplets, if any of you know. Norma has no idea what I'm talking about right now, probably, right?
No,
But
I have never watched it. And I think I'm going to have to watch this one this weekend.
I think that's a good one, Slapshot, number 5. Number 4, Rudy. We agree on that, Norma.
Oh, wow.
Rudy, we agree,
First time
1993.
we've ever agreed on something.
I love the concept of the University of Notre Dame and someone really working hard and having a dream and a goal and achieving it. And it doesn't matter whether you're a starter or not. It's everything that came in. We're all rooting for Rudy. Number 3, we're all rooting for Rocky. I didn't call it the original, but same movie, 1976, Sylvester Stallone. Talia Shire, I believe, was Adrian, right? The girlfriend, the love interest. Burgess Meredith was also in that movie, Norma, great actor. But that film, directed by Sylvester Stallone, by the way, I think won Best Picture of the Year at the Oscars. So a great movie, again, about the underdog, Norma, and finding a way through your beliefs, even though you may not have everything at your disposal, of becoming a champion in a way. In certainly the hearts and minds of people. That's number 3. Number 2, Breaking Away. I don't know if you've heard of this movie, Norma. It's about cyclists. It stars, one of the stars in it is Dennis Quaid, but it's about how an American young man, I believe in Indiana, if I'm not mistaken, has a dream to be a professional bicycle racer, a la Tour de France. And his way of getting out of his social class, the cutters, and be accepted by college students. It's a great, hey, I want to cheer for this young man kind of thing, a coming of age movie. I really recommend it. And then for me, the best sports related movie is Raging Bull. Martin Scorsese directing this movie, Norma. Robert De Niro starring, Joe Pesci. In another great role as a supporting actor, and it's about Jake LaMotta, the champion, the boxing champion, whose life we see in front of us, and also where he ends up. Maybe similar to the Coleman story you were mentioning. Anyone in a life has good and bad. So there's our picks. And Norma, even after all that, it's amazing that we actually agreed on 2 of those movies.
I know.
Isn't that strange?
That is strange, yeah.
So there you go. Do any of you agree or disagree? Norma tells us, love all the movies you pick. I think she's talking about me, not you, Norma. So I agree with Norma agreeing with me, not with the other Norma. I'm confused. Too many Normas right now, Norma. Norma.
Yeah.
Are you a big movie buff? Movie buff? Do you watch a lot of movies, Norma? Or?
Yeah, I really I love watching documentaries. but movies, yeah. I mean, it has to be a really. I'm not into the sci-fi movies, to be honest. But documentaries, romantic, anything to do motivational. I mean,
You
they're
just
all good.
lost me when you
They're all
said
good.
romantic, Norma. I'm sorry, you're still talking, right?
Any movie's good. I'm
Or
just
do you
not
watch
into the sci-fi
Do you
movies.
watch the Hallmark Channel, Norma?
No, not all the time. No,
Not
only
all the
during Christmas.
time, just a
No,
little bit.
during the Christmas time. But I am into the Netflix documentaries, Alex. I mean, I can watch it all day if I could,
Have you
if I
watched?
had the time.
I watched the first episode of this Tiger King thing, Norma, and I'm a little confused by it. I didn't keep up after I think one episode, maybe two episodes, and it,
Now,
it, I found it surreal in that if it's a documentary, that people really behave and act that way. I was like, wow, that's amazing,
well, my husband started watching it initially,
right?
and I was like, "What are you watching?" And then I kind of was tuning out. I wasn't really into it. But then after, the third and then the fourth, and then I kept watching it, and it just got every episode just started getting worse and worse. Meaning not worse as in not good, but just things that happened. It was very, very interesting. So yeah.
So do you recommend it, Norma? I think it's just it's America, right? In many ways,
Yeah.
it's an amazing story. What little I know about it, I think most of you may know a lot more than I do. But Norma, it's really about how people want attention, and they'll go out of their way to do that. And we live for the camera. Apparently, I should be talking, right? But people live for attention, and they'll almost do anything it takes to get that attention. Good or bad, I'm not
Right.
judging. That's my take on it.
Yeah. No. So are you planning to watch the rest of it, or are you dropping the?
I'm planning on buying some tigers and starting a little business in the backyard. That's what I'm planning on doing. My mullet's almost there, so I don't know.
Oh
I've got a
yeah.
shot.
I was wondering who you looked like when I saw that Tiger King. I was like,
Wait a
man, that
minute.
guy looks like someone I
I'm
know. But now I
el
can see the resemblance.
yeah. Just call me el rey de los tigres.
Los tigres.
I'm the Mexican Tiger King. You think?
En español.
In
But
español.
hey,
That's right.
you know what?
Yes.
Maybe we could market that. We could actually do a show
Yes.
in español for, in Tiger King. Yeah.
Yeah, Norma. Well, I'll produce it, but I'm not going to star in that one. Although for an actor, that would be a great role. If that gentleman, that man, it really is like that. That's a story. I will tell you that. It's a little out there for
It
for
is
me.
out there.
But it is quite a story. So there you have it, related to movies, ladies and gentlemen. What are your thoughts? Again, Norma loved all my movies. I think it says there. Alex is right. But again, there's a couple of movies that weren't on that list, our list, Norma. The movie with Kevin Costner, Field of Dreams, is a movie that
That's a great movie.
many people think and talk about that one when it comes to, hey, this is a sports movie. Hoosiers, we talked about Indiana in relative to Breaking Away with Gene Hackman. That's another a sports-related movie.
How about Sandlot? Do you remember Sandlot?
The Sandlot, yes, I remember
Yeah.
that one. Yes,
That was a cute movie.
that one is. And again, I think that the entire point, from my perspective at least, is sports are part of our culture. Sports are part of our lives, and in the Kevin Costner movie, Build It and They Will Come, right? And I just went blank on the name, of course, Norma.
Field of Dreams?
Field of Dreams. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It speaks about, from my perspective at least, Norma, about how sports are part of our fantasies, are part of our lives, are part of our bonding with others. Fathers and sons bond over what? Sports, right?
Sports.
In
Yeah.
many ways. That's a tradition. Now, and let me say, these days, Norma, it's fathers and daughters and mothers and sons. It's all of us. But who doesn't enjoy going out to the ballpark, whether it's basketball, baseball, soccer ball, or any other kind of ball, and doing and enjoying that as a family. It's something we've been entrenched in believing in and supporting and getting behind, and the value of sport. So when it becomes a dramatic thing like Rudy, we agreed on Rudy, Norma,
Yeah.
being a movie of motivation, of overcoming the odds and succeeding. I think that drives all of us.
Yeah.
I also like the angle now, Norma, of documentaries, focusing on real people, if you will, whose apparently real life can be a lot more dramatic than any script written in Hollywood.
Yeah, no, documentaries. I mean, you get the real insight of that exact person on what they've gone through, Alex, and then, their day to day or how they became successful, how they became well known, and maybe the downfalls, that we don't know what they've gone through. And so documentaries hands down are the best to really get to know that person. Norma Solis Mendoza said, "Remember the Titans."
That's another good movie, and I was
That's a good
actually
movie.
I was checking my Twitter. I didn't mean to not watch you or pay attention for people that may be tuning in. And if you guys have any comments or questions, please send them our way. Or if you guys have thoughts about what your favorite sports-related movie is, that's always a fun subject, a fun topic, Norma. There's some other movies like Bend It Like Beckham, if you remember that movie,
Yeah.
soccer related, and I love that the whole. Well, one of the points of that movie was having young ladies getting involved in sports. I think that's fantastic. We both talked about Rocky 1976, but there was another movie, I believe it was called Goal, if I'm not mistaken, also with Sylvester Stallone and Pelé, where there's a bunch of U.S. and Allied soldiers captured by the Germans during the Second World War, and they play a soccer match and they escape toward the end. I guess that's a spoiler right there, but that's another, at least in my memory, a movie, and that's probably one of the first movies, at least here in the United States, about soccer, that spoke about soccer. I know traditionally here in the United States, there's been a lot of movies about football, of course, American football, about baseball, about basketball, but to me that movie spoke to a sport, of course, that I love, the sport of soccer. So there you go, Norma. I guess we'll have more top 5 lists in the future, and maybe we can get back to a movie theater. Norma, are movie theaters open already?
Yeah, they are. Actually, I'd seen an advertisement. They're trying to get people to go.
Okay.
Pretty
So they're paying us to
they're,
go.
they're trying to get people to go. They're having a lot of promotions going on. I'm sure. I think one down the street where I'm at, they're having like a free Friday movie or something in that concept. So maybe they're not doing too good in regards to business. So they're trying to be more creative to get some people in. Alex, I just want to go back to the movies.
Please.
And I'm trying to find the name of it. And it was a great documentary going back in regards to soccer of the team that crashed in Colombia.
Oh yes,
Have you-
I
have
think
you
it's
ever
I think it's
seen-
called
oh.
Alive.
It's the
It was a rugby team from Uruguay that crashed in the Andes.
No, it was soccer.
I thought they were a rugby team. No. Oh no. Well, no.
No.
The Brazilian soccer team, unfortunately, that crashed and most of the team members died. I think there's 2 separate stories there.
It's 2 separate stories. I just looked it up, and I probably am not pronouncing this right, but the team was from Chapecoense. Am I saying it incorrectly, Alex?
I think you're saying it right. It's a Brazilian team, and that's a.
I think you're right, Alex. But it's a football team that died in the crash, and I think they only had like 1 survivor. But that documentary, if you have not seen it, that is another great documentary to see. Definitely, it made me cry throughout the whole time.
You do a lot of crying, Norma, at the movies. You
know.
cry because you're happy. You cry because you're sad.
No, seriously, Alex. I don't know if you could actually pull it up to even watch it. I know it came out at one point and I got into it, but it's just a great movie. It's about soccer, of course, about the team, on how they started and, how they were winning. And they actually had so many fans. Their fan base was outrageous. I mean, they had fans all the time, all the time. And when that happened, that tragedy, it was very sad for that area. So, but yeah, it's a great documentary to
Wow.
to look at. So
Yeah,
just another attack.
Norma, thank you for that. Delia Martinez says A League of Their Own. That is a great movie too.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Tom Hanks in that movie. I was just watching it. Gina Davis, I think, was in that one. Madonna.
Oh
And
yeah, Madonna was in that
Rosie
one.
O'Donnell
Rosie O'Donnell
was
Yeah.
in that movie. That's a very, very, very good movie too. I enjoy watching that one. Again, it speaks. This is of ladies playing baseball during the Second World War, in order to, I guess, make up for the space not taken by the men playing, because most of them, I guess, in the service, in the military, in some way. But that is a great movie, and also Tom Hanks' character in that movie was very, very good. So, Delia, thank you so much for chiming in on that one. Yeah, I really, really think that's another really good one, and that's a family type movie as well, Norma. That you can sit around and some historical accuracy there, and really, really enjoy it. And for young ladies, I think it's motivational in that way too. And
that is a great movie.
Absolutely. So yeah, please send us your thoughts on one of your or many favorite sports related movies. Just quickly, so those of you that are just now joining us, maybe we can show this one more time. This is Uncle Alex's top 5. Raging Bull, my number 1. Breaking Away, Rocky, Rudy. I like short names, Norma. And Slapshot. So just so you know there. That's my top 5. And let's see if we can find Ms. Norma's top 5 here. Here we go. There's Norma Morales' top 5 movies. Greater, Ronnie Coleman, The King, El Rey, as they say in Spanish. Rocky, not Bullwinkle, but the original. That's the way Norma wrote it, so that's what Mr. Producer used. The Blind Side, and Rudy from 1993. Norma, how quickly time goes by, huh?
Yeah, that's crazy. 93 when that movie came out.
And you were what, Norma? Probably was that your first or second marriage in 93?
No, that was my 3rd marriage, and my 6th kid that I had. So yeah.
What a life Norma's had. That should be a documentary right there, Norma.
What a life.
The Life of Norma Morales.
Okay, so Norma Solis Mendoza, what is it called again? Which one are you referring to, Norma? And then maybe we can clarify that one.
Probably Norma, I think the Brazilian team, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up right now so I can send her the link.
We're here to serve. The actual let's see, Chapecoense is the name of the team. The actual accident unfortunately occurred, I believe, on November 28th I'll figure out the date here soon, Norma, and forgive me, but 71 of 70 people passed away in that accident. This was as the team approached Medellin, Colombia. So yeah, it was a Brazilian football team. I don't know the name of the documentary, Norma, so maybe you can help us and get the word out. But yeah, that's a very, I haven't seen it. For full disclosure, Norma, but if Norma says it's good, I believe
it. It is a great movie. No, it is. And actually, I just remembered that when we started talking about soccer, and I'm like, I have to actually move that. That's probably, I may have to move one movie down. I may have to move, probably what was my 4th? I have to keep, Rudy, Rocky, they're all good.
Yeah. What would you do, Norma? The blind.
I would, to be honest.
Sandra Bullock is out. Sandra Bullock out.
Sandra Bullock is out.
Right.
The Blind Side. No, I mean The Blind Side's still a good movie. I would have to compare this to be with Ronnie Coleman to be a number 2. I mean, it's just just because it's a documentary, it's a great documentary to watch. So.
And it made Norma cry. So that's a key for this. Norma, as I get older, I cry a lot more.
I know you do. I've seen you cry.
And it's not pretty, ladies and gentlemen.
It's
not pretty at all. I find I reflect more on things. In the past, I had those moments I'm crying now, Norma. I had those moments during movies that I didn't let get to me. But as I get a little bit older, I appreciate that, and I get into it, and I let my guard down versus this. Hey, no, I'm not going to do that. And I appreciate the moment for what it is. And I think movies that motivate us, Norma, like art and art can be film, art can be a painting, art can be music, something that touches us that way in our emotions. I think it's healthy to feel that. I think a lot of people, especially men, I'm going to say this, we're not into this whole crying thing, but I'm a sensitive guy, Norma, and I think again, as I get older, I'm a little more grateful, I think, about things, and I appreciate things, and I'm hopefully God's going to strike me down tonight, but I like to think that I'm more in touch with that, and that's a good thing. And sometimes movies allow us to. Should I stop now? Just stop now.
No, I'm just laughing when Norma Sully says, she says, "Crybaby."
Oh, really? Okay, that's a low blow. Well, you know what? You can just have the Norma Morales show. Just put my glasses on. Not cry.
Oh, no. That's hilarious. That was a good one.
No, that's not a good one.
Nah, that's a good one.
Here I am pouring my heart out, and I get called a crybaby. Hey, Facebook's going to come down on hate speech, so just be careful because it's coming.
Oh, that's funny.
We're just. I got to go to a break, Norma, because I'm crying right now. So I'm just going to take this moment and compose myself.
Earlier you were saying I cry a lot, but now you cry a lot.
I do. I'm the sensitive one. Okay. I've composed myself now. I'm back. In other news,
that's funny.
in other news, Norma's laughing. Well, I'm glad we made you laugh, Norma, at my expense.
Oh, that's funny.
Norma is our #1 fan, Norma.
Yeah, she's been on it. She's been online with us since day one, Alex.
Yeah,
We're
gonna have to send her. I'll bottle some tears and send them to you. No?
Bottle some tears.
Too much? I've got plenty these days.
So it's like considered like holy water or something, or what?
Yeah. Look, Norma, this show has descended into all kinds of things, but I was brought by the stork or immaculate conception. Those are my two theories, from what I remember. So that is a possibility. Norma, by the way, our highest ratings, I'll bet you, I promise you, what we're going to talk about now is going to be our highest ratings. It's going to blow off the charts, and it's something you started a few nights ago.
Oh.
Strippers and COVID. Watch, I promise you, strippers and COVID. Norma was wondering, and I'm not putting words in your mouth, but you mentioned, I wonder, Norma Morales said, what are the regulations of strippers now that we're under this COVID? What guidelines? Do they wear masks? I was laughing and crying as she was talking about this. But Norma, I'm going to do a little research, and I've been doing some research now.
Okay, great.
Just a little, not personal research yet, but I think it's just a matter of time because people want to know. People want to know these things.
I was really serious about asking it. We were during the first night we were talking about protocols of what businesses do, and I'm like, I wonder, what would their protocol be?
I'm wondering too. If there's any strippers watching right now, let us know what, if any, limitations you have during COVID. By next week, Norma, I promise you we'll have the answer.
Okay.
You're just leaving it at that, Norma. You're letting me dangle. You're the one that brought this up.
No, I had not had the chance to look. I'd like to know. Maybe I need to Google that real quick.
You Google and report in, or someone else Google and give us a report about the state. Let's say the state of Texas.
Yeah, state of Texas, Texas strip clubs, COVID protocol.
There you go. Maybe Judge, our friend the Judge Norma is trying to uphold these laws at strip joints. These are essential businesses for some people, Norma.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Right? So while
Okay,
Norma, go ahead.
no, I'm just reading an article.
Okay.
This is an article back in,
In 1973.
no, in May 21st.
Got it.
And it says, as far as private dancing goes, they're
Private
going
dance.
to have to maintain a 6 foot division between them and the other person.
I'm taking my notes. 6 foot. Okay.
Uh-huh.
6 foot. Got it.
Okay, here's another thing.
There's more.
Okay, strippers, Alex, I think in fairness, they're called entertainers. So I think that's entertainers will also be required to wear masks, as well as other employees in the building.
What else should they wear? Nothing else?
It's just a mask.
Just a mask? I'm just wondering.
I guess.
And you're right. They're entertainers, and I'm not trying to minimize their importance.
It will be up to the customer. And then it will be up to the customers if they want to wear a mask. And cash will still be accepted.
Well, I'm glad that's always going on, Norma. Cash is always good.
And of course, they do sell food there. So they will have plasticware instead of nice metal knives or forks. They'll have paper napkins and paper cups.
We're about to get shut down, Norma, because we're giving away too much information here, apparently.
Well, that just tells you so that they are required to wear a mask.
Mm-hmm.
Again, for lap dancing, that's what I thought. That's exactly what I said on Monday. I just wasn't sure. So
well,
there you go.
The show is a visual medium, Norma. We're going to have some video of this for next week. I think that's one of our goals. So we can educate the audience about what adult entertainers do, right?
Yeah, right.
Norma, it's a whole industry.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll send you undercover, Norma. You can give us the inside scoop.
Oh, I'll be okay, Alex.
Madam Norma. Madam Norma.
I'll be okay.
No?
I'll be
No?
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if someone has to go research, Norma, I guess it's going to have to be me. So our ratings did not increase, Norma. I expected that would do something to help the ratings.
Yeah, sorry, Alex.
You failed.
Maybe because we're close to midnight. Maybe everyone's asleep already.
They can't be. We're going to start doing the show earlier, apparently, Norma. By the way, if you are watching, and we thank the people that are, is this a good hour for you? Some of you insomniacs, should we be on earlier? Should Uncle Alex talk less? I think maybe the Norma Morales show might be good. So please give us your feedback. We want the show to grow and hopefully improve a little bit. Today, Norma, as we get close to the end, believe it or not, we're almost done. We have a young lady, I think, Missy Johnson, that says hi. So hi to Missy. Thank you for joining
Missy.
us.
Talking about Missy.
Yes. Yes. Let's talk about Missy.
Let's talk. So you know how, Alex, we've talked about. We work in the soccer industry, of course.
Yes.
And Missy is my childhood friend that I played soccer with since we were 4 or 5 years old.
Do you remember that far back, Norma? Childhood friend. So what? This was with the first big World War in the 20s.
Oh, come on. Jeez Louise, Alex. I'm not that old.
I can't
Come
see.
on.
I can't. Well, yeah. No, well, Missy says yes. You're right. Norma is 33 years older than me. That's what I see here. Missy, I get it. No. So Missy and Norma played soccer together.
Yes, we played soccer. Her dad was actually my coach through my younger years. Yeah.
What was Coach Johnson's first name?
Coach Thomas. Johnson is her married name.
Coach Thomas. Okay, I'm not gonna get into all that because then I'm gonna get lost. Missy, thank you for watching and increasing our ratings. And this apparently is the Norma Morales show because it's only Norma's friends. I have acquaintances. Nobody I know ever writes it. And if they do, you just be careful because there may be a subpoena out for me. Ray Thomas, that's the name of the coach. Is Coach Ray still with us? And I'm glad to hear that, Norma. And was he a good coach, Norma?
Yes, he's the best coach I ever had. And you know what we talked about, Alex, in regards to soccer, you always have those memories when you play from when you're 4 or 5 years old to as you get older. Those are the memories I'll never forget. like the best memories that I've had is playing soccer, him being my coach and having those friends. And see, we're lifelong friends. And so that's what soccer, the sport of soccer does. You know, it brings you together, of us playing together and creating friendships. So
How old were you,
yeah.
Norma?
When I started, I mean, it was
Well,
like
yeah, just a reference.
4 or 5 years old. I want
Okay.
to say, if
And
I'm not mistaken, it was
so your life
young.
peaked at about 5 or 6, and it's been downhill ever since, right?
Yeah, it's been down.
I've never seen you so
Uh,
emotionally happy about something. So I know that you really have fond memories. And since then,
yeah,
look where you are today
yeah.
on the
I
Deportes
know.
Nation with me. You'd
I
rather
know.
be back
You
with
know.
Coach Thomas and with Missy, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. I'd rather be with them. No, Alex, it's just when you get older, you don't
I don't age,
realize
Norma.
what you.
I've had this white beard for
I
about 37 years.
Yeah, you know what, Alex? You should shave your beard again, so people can see what it is.
What it is? It? You mean the face? So they can see what it is.
Yeah, she was my great defensor. Yeah, Missy, I miss her.
Well, Missy, I don't know you, but if you know Norma, first of all, I'm sorry. And I wish you the best of luck.
Defender.
No, thank you, Missy, for watching and listening. Where is Missy these days, Norma? Is she in the state of Texas?
Yes, she is. I believe still located in.
Don't give it away,
I,
Norma.
I, I don't want to give it away because I don't really know for sure. I'm assuming the same hometown that we grew up in is where I believe she's located.
The town that will not be named.
The town that will not be.
Because there's all kinds of people out there, Norma. You have to be careful. They'll go chase Missy down.
Oh, that it's not. It's not. Yeah, it's a great town, Alex. It's not bad.
Well, Missy wrote it. I'm not going to say it, but there it is.
Yeah, she said it.
Just
That's where we're from.
a little north of Austin. Let's put it that way, right?
Yeah.
Well, Missy, thanks again for tuning in. I know you're catching the end of the show. It's a show now, apparently, Norma. We got special. Oh, no, what do you think of this, Missy? This is the great new picture we're going to be using whenever I start crying, which happens a lot on the show. We just go to this slide. Look at Norma, huh? I like that picture, Norma. Of me, I mean. Yeah.
You know the photographer that took those pictures. Well, no. Of that picture of you, they
Yes.
did tell me they had to do a lot of Photoshop.
Well, that's the only way, Norma. First of all, that's someone else's body. And I've never been in a soccer stadium, so I have no idea what's happening
I know.
there.
Why are you holding? Did you pay someone to hold that dynamo mic? That's what I really want to know.
Norma, I got that picture for $373. I think it was worth every penny. So, and then I composed myself, Missy, and here I am back. And after my cry, I feel better. So there you go. Norma, we will continue doing shows like this. I can't thank you enough for being with us. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being with us. Norma, we're trying to work on technology. This week, our big hurdle was to get on multiple platforms. So we're now streaming live, I'm being told. Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, and what's the other one, Norma? Help me out here. YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah.
There you go. I don't know what happens once that's out there, and hopefully it's archived and people can watch it and like it or not like it or whatever happens. But we're going to do our best to keep pushing the show. Please let us know if you guys have any comments or questions or ideas for the show. More Norma, less Uncle Alex, or maybe more Uncle Alex, less Norma. Why are you laughing, Norma?
My aunt's watching.
Who's your aunt, Norma?
My Aunt Delia.
Aunt Delia. Where's Delia at? Same place? Across the street from Missy.
No, she lives north of my hometown.
Okay. Very cryptic stuff here. You think people in jails are watching us, Norma? Is that possible that someone can have a connection like that?
Can watch us in jail?
Yeah, if someone's on the Facebook in the jail, I guess they could, right?
I'm sure they could.
I don't know why that popped into my mind, but
Yeah, maybe that's a whole different conversation.
That's a whole different show. Well, for tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. People are saying good night. We have to say good night. Almost Thursday morning. Norma, I think we had a good show. We talked a little bit about the up and coming changes to sports. I think it's called esports, or I know it's called esports. We talked about our top 10. We'll have maybe some more top 5s and top 10s in the future. Norma, what do you want to say as we close, please?
Just thanking everyone for watching, and hopefully everyone is well and safe, and have a good night.
Absolutely. So on behalf of Ms. Norma Morales, Norma, keep talking because I got to work on my music. I always like to put a little techno music.
I'm usually scared of what type of music you're going to be putting on.
Yeah? Yeah. Well, here it comes. So we pump up the music, Norma. We go to the slide that makes me look really good. And ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Norma over here, I'm Alex. Thanks for joining us. Until next time here on Deportes Nation Live.